Hey there, friends, and welcome back to another 3-Minute Thoughts. My name is Derek, and in the next 3 minutes, we're going to take a look at Genesis chapters 32 through 34. 3-Minute Thoughts is that daily podcast where we navigate a few chapters of the Bible in about 3 minutes, giving some sort of a quick summary, just in case we didn't understand it or couldn't actually get to read it word for word. Genesis 32 through 34 pick up on the life of Jacob. In chapter 32, Jacob prepares to face off with his brother Esau after years of being estranged from one another. Remember the whole soup and birthright incident earlier on, or the lie that Jacob told, or the deception that Jacob brought on to steal the blessing? So Jacob fears Esau's anger, so he sends gifts ahead of him as a gesture of his own peace. That night, he wrestles with a mysterious man who is revealed to be God himself. The struggle ends with Jacob receiving a blessing and a new name, which is Israel, which means he struggles with God. This would be the foundation of the nation of Israel, struggling with God. The encounter then leaves Jacob limping as a reminder of man's continued struggle with the will of God, and yet God's continued presence in his life. Jacob is going to meet Esau in chapter 3, who then ultimately surprises him with forgiveness and even an embrace of love. Overwhelmed by Esau's grace, Jacob acknowledges God's mercy. Despite Esau's offer to travel together, Jacob decides he wants to settle separately, establishing himself in a land of Shechem. Now, tragedy is going to come upon them in chapter 34 when they are in Shechem. A local prince violates Jacob's daughter, Dinah. Now, we're not going to get into all the details of this one because we want to make it so that you can still listen to this in the car with the kiddos there. But if you read this chapter, you'll realize that bad things do happen in a world, even when we have good intentions. So Shechem expresses his desire to marry Dinah, but Jacob's sons, they are outraged by the violation. They plot revenge. They agree to the marriage only if all the men of Shechem go through this rite of circumcision. After the men are okay with it, they comply. Now, these are grown men going through this rite. Jacob's sons, Simeon and Levi, attack the city and they kill all the males, plundering it, taking all of their goods. Jacob is angry and he rebukes them for endangering the family, but the brothers justify their actions, saying that it was necessary to get justice. A quick application point here is there a reminder that reconciliation requires courage, but real healing is found in the grace that comes from God alone. We also need to understand that we can't act in unchecked anger. That's not a real good way to live. All right, that's it for today. Be well, friends.